Our next panelists are going to be discussing the topics of NFTs, personal media as social capital in the new social media.
Hi guys, how are you? I'm feeling, hey, hi, how are you? Oh, you guys, I feel like it's a nice intimate gathering here, isn't it?
That's right.
This is great. Who here in the crowd has an NFT? Okay, that's almost like 90% of us. It's a big deal, you guys. We are the forefront, we are the four leaders, we're the four lead hers. Because I see a lot of great women here in the crowd too. So it's wonderful to see the ladies here. My name's Julie Lamb. I am a storyteller connector. I'm a hodl gal. I'm a reluctant flipper, and I am a marketing geek. And I have the greatest honor of working with my esteemed colleagues here on the panel. And we'll go down the line and we'll each introduce ourselves and start the conversation. Hey, Eric.
My name is Eric Tang, and I'm the co-founder and CTO of LivePeer, which is a decentralized video streaming platform.
Hi, my name is Aaron Williams. I'm a recording artist and social media guru. I own Petty Post LLC and Articulate Music. And I'm somewhat of a conversator, and I'm also, I think I got jokes that I think I'm, funny a little bit. But I'm here to develop this space, and I'm happy to be on this panel today, sharing with you guys.
Hi, my name is Adi Sideman. I'm the CEO of Revel.XYZ, and it's a new NFT-driven social network.
How many here in our group use social media like you used the telephone when you first started communicating with your friends? Yeah, I do too. I like that. Friends of mine say, some of my friends are like, I don't use social media, just call me on the telephone or text me. So, how does that make you feel when your friends say that to you, Eric?
Yeah. I actually think the telephone is probably the oldest form of social media, right? So in a way, like we're all just, like I think of that as, social media is just a way for us to connect in a virtual electronic world, and whether we like it or not, we are all connected in that way today, right?
Aaron, what's your favorite form of social media?
Right now it's Instagram.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it. I like what they're doing. They just kind of gave us back the algorithm where you could see who is the content from the people you follow, not just the other one that was like so messed up. So they just gave us back in order, and I have been building on there for a few years and had some successes. So I love Instagram for right now.
I also think as a reggae artist, because we were talking about this, certain different forms of certain media allow it to be very personal, and then how can you share it with your community? Now, I have to say, I met you, Adi, before I met you, because I've been playing in your Matrix game, I feel, well before we had this personal relationship of meeting here for the panel. What was it like knowing that you were going to be building a space that people were going to meet in, and that was going to be a part of their community?
Yeah, I mean, I've been building communities for the past 20 years, and live streaming at YouNow, and before that, co-founded the world's first online karaoke that became MySpace Karaoke. And I'm really excited to build now in the NFT space because it's such a new, powerful dimension. And the speaker right before us was talking about a revolution and how creators are going to own their media and how big and important that is. And so I look at it from a community standpoint. It's not just the creator. It's the creator and the community are going to own it together. And how does that work? And what does that mean? And what is governance and gamification, et cetera? So that's the stuff that excites me.
Now we talked backstage, okay, let's not go too crazy into like these questions, but you really brought up something that I wanted to bring to Eric. How do you feel about the creator economy and molding that through social media and having like that portion of like fractionalized ownership within the creative economy?
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the next evolution of where we're going, right? Like thinking about ownership and thinking about how value gets passed around. Because today it's kind of blocked because we have these large social networks that do capture all the value that sit in the middle between the creators and their community. So the communities don't actually get to participate in the ongoing success of the creators, right? And you know the fans are the ones that are contributing the biggest value to the creators, but they're clearly cut out of that kind of value capture. So I'm sure everyone here is kind of thinking in very similar ways, right? Like I'm curious actually to hear from your perspective, Julie. Like how do you think about this?
I'm someone that if I was to see you busk in the subway station, I would throw a 20 in your guitar case. I just would. I would, because I would. That's what I'd like to do. Or if you had a CD that was for sale, I'm going to buy it, and hopefully I'm not going to stop you while you're playing your song. I'm going to buy it and throw it, and then I'm going to reach out to you on social, and we're going to connect on Instagram, and then we're going to be able to create our own community that we have. I love the idea that when you blow up on Saturday Night Live, because I know you're gonna do a performance on Saturday Night Live, and that $20 CD or $20 busking that I threw into your case is now gonna be worth, perhaps on eBay or whatever social form I wanna use, more than $20. I love the fact that if it's put in this NFT space that we have, you as the creator now have the opportunity to make more money on the secondary market with a sale than you did on the first market. Do you, Aaron, have a very, like a favorite marketplace that you like to go to purchase your NFTs?
For right now, it's OpenSea. I use OpenSea a lot. It's smooth enough for me. I started on there. I have a few other platforms, but I'm used to that one, so like, I default to that one. But I am willing to, I've met a couple new platforms at this whole conference, so I'm going to check them out, and maybe my opinions change.
Do you feel like some of the platforms give artists, like I heard that Known Origin has a slightly higher percentage rate for their creators than OpenSea if you were going to be putting something on that platform? As a creator, does that push you towards that one to put your artwork?
Yes, for sure, because we do put in a lot of work before we hit the stage. So, the recording, the mixing, the mastering, the music videos, we spend a lot of money too. So it's like, it's always good to be able to get back something from it. And my whole message to artists when I speak to them is always to own as much of your music as possible. And Web3 allows you to do that.
Okay, Adi, what do you want me to watch out for?
I would say the most exciting thing to watch out for is the fact that you were talking about the creator economy. It has been sort of democratizing over time. And 5-6 years ago, you needed millions of followers, and now hundreds of thousands. And today there's this concept, especially around NFTs and crypto, is that all you need is 1,000 dedicated fans. And that's further democratizing it. And it goes beyond just the creators. You were saying, like, if you give him $20 and then he becomes big, it can be Betty from high school, from the homeroom, who's gaining 50 new followers a week, and her shit is only valued at 35 cents right now, and maybe I'm a genius for offering 75 cents for it, because I am detecting her trends. And so it's not just for the creators or the artists or the influencers. What we're going to see, and the thing to look for, is Instagram is introducing it, Facebook is introducing it. That's kind of like old school, but what are the Web3 innovators? How are they going to harness it in order to really make it valuable for the long tail, who are becoming both owners and investing in people and creators in their own right?
Ooh, you bring up something called investment, right? I like the idea that, if you buy crypto, we all now know with the price coming down, some of us are a little ouch. It does drop down the price because in a way it allows people to enter that maybe would have been cautious or couldn't have gotten into up until this point. But you do talk about investment. the part of me, like I'm thinking about Meta, you know, taking the potential of, what, 47% from creators or something when it comes to that. You know, it's a larger audience. So as an artist, if I was a painter and I was selling my work on the street and the end user bought my work for $500, but what if that piece of artwork was in a gallery and the gallerist says, I'm going to take 50% of whatever I make for you. But now that piece of artwork sells in the gallery for $100,000. So 50% of that is far greater than 100% of what it would have been on my own. How does that shift for you as someone who's seeing the changes in the market? Do you shy away from the opportunity to have maybe less of a percentage of ownership, but a wider audience?
Yeah, I think for a creator, right, like it's for the creators who I talk to, like creators are really, really good at being at all channels, right? That's like the craft, right? That's like they're entrepreneurs. They are in every single channel. So I think that in terms of the on-ramp of how creators get into the NFT ecosystem, it becomes another channel that's alongside of Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and all these other channels. But the interesting thing there is I'm starting to see a lot of creators use those mass distribution channels as essentially lead generation for the further down funnel, like higher percentage capture opportunities for themselves. NFTs being a really good one, talking about, you know, you have 1,000 true fans that can buy you NFTs, but you may have, you know, 10,000 people who are aware of you and you know, maybe participating in your experience, and you have 100,000 people who have heard of your name once, right? So I think that funnel becomes really interesting for a creator to think about.
Well, that really allows us to think about our personal media, as the title says, our personal media as social capital in the new social media. So, you know, I have a website. I think we all have websites that we either work with or we use our favorite social media tools that lead back to our website. Aaron, I know you like Instagram specifically. Do you like to go back to your webpage and build off and into that and then splinter into other things? Or do you find that you're pretty deep into what they presented to us as social media and just sticking with Instagram being the vertical that is your portal to you?
Well, for me, as Eric mentioned, you know, as creators, we try to be on all platforms to have that presence. So I think that my strategy that I've been using is more of making each of those platforms or my profiles personalized or customized to the degree where if you're on one, you still feel like you're on my website. If you're on my website, you still feel like you're on my social media. So doing that and creating that brand awareness or that brand experience for your clients, your customers, your followers, they'll feel at home anywhere. So I think doing it that way would be the trick to it.
Can one person do it all?
One person as an entrepreneur or creator. I think creators and people need help. And you know, Instagram is not helping that much. Like, what are they going to do? They're going to say, okay, you uploaded this photo or video. Do you want to make it into an NFT? Okay, how many editions would you like to make it? And how much do you want to charge for it? So it's kind of like merchandising. And then, you know, the rest is kind of up to you. You need to manage your own economy. What are the benefits? What's the utility? And all of that is off Instagram. And so, you know, the future of social networks is that you don't have to think that much and that the utility is on those platforms and is extensible through Web3. And that's really exciting for everyone. Like you have, you know, I don't know if people heard here about like social tokens like Tri-Roll or Rally. And those are great, but they're very advanced. Like, you need to really have an economics degree to run that economy and to decide how much inflation you're going to have and how much you're going to keep and how much you're going to give your community. And, you know, the network that's going to be helpful to people is the network that's going to say, okay, all of us, creators, people, we all emanate media all day long. This media is acting as our social capital, and here are the rules of the game. Whoever collects gets yield, whoever does this, and just, dumb down all the economics behind it so that regular people can deploy it.
Do you think it's, I guess I just had a momentary visceral reaction to like dumb down. Because we have so much going on in our lives. It could be as simple as like, maybe we have families at home that are requiring our attention that aren't in the Web3 world. Or we have bills that we have to pay. Or we have that parking ticket that we have to think about. If we don't pay it by Friday, there's going to be that extra thing that's taxed on top of it. So I find that if it's super complex, it becomes a barrier to entry to me. So instead of like, I always want to make sure that I'm in a place that I just don't feel like there's this resistance to get in. So maybe that's why I found such an easy way of getting into Instagram, because it really is for me low-hanging fruit. I can put up pretty pictures, I can do some fun stuff, they make it really simple. It's like the difference between working in Canva as opposed to Photoshop. You can kind of do a lot of the same things in both, just depends on how far along you are on the trail and do you want to work with duct tape and paper glue? Or do you really want to work with a finite set of, surgeon's tools? So let's talk to like the, I always feel like what little nuggets are we going to get from each one of these talks and each one of these panels? So, and I feel like sometimes we get those nuggets from what to watch out, not as in a good thing, but maybe not so great, like danger, danger, Will Robinson. What would your advice be on what to watch out not to do?
What's what you're not to do?
You're getting the tough questions.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to give the tough questions. Should we start with someone else?
No,
it's okay,
no,
we can.
I think there's obviously this like custodianship, right? Like what that means is, you own your wallet, and your wallet, like, and if you send stuff from your wallet to somebody else, then it belongs to that person, right? It's gone, and you can never get it back. And I think for everyday consumers, that is today still like a huge hurdle, right? It's the dark side of ownership is now you are on the hook to protect your ownership. And that can be challenging for a lot of people. So yeah, like I think there's a lot of new solutions that are coming out that helps people gradually get on that kind of progressive decentralization curve, so that when you get your first NFT, it may be not in the wallet that you own, but maybe it sits in an account that you can still recover, and you can get it back if you lose it. I think those ramps are kind of needed in order for like the next wave of mass adoption. Right?
As an artist, to another fellow artist, what do I need to watch out as a caution in what we're doing currently today in our social media?
Currently in our social media, what to look out for, I would say there are just certain, okay, so with the introduction of Web3 and what we're doing with blockchain, there are just certain things that, in terms of like your seed phrase, don't let anybody see your seed phrase, like that's law. If they have that, they have your wallet. So, those are things to look out for. Certain cold contacts, when people contact you out of the blue and say, hey, I have a new drop, get this NFT. They have certain things that when you log into their website with your wallet, they could go into your wallet and take everything. So you got to have to do due diligence with whatever platform you're interacting with, and make sure that you are confident and comfortable with the decision you're about to make, because we're new now, so a lot of the coins don't have the value they're going to have 10 years from now. So you may have a couple $1,000s worth of crypto, which is going to turn to a couple $1 billion in a few years, and you may want to protect that, so, and your NFTs as well. So those are just a few things I would say look out for and just be cautious of.
Yeah, that's a challenge, because I think about it with my, I've been collecting enough NFTs now over the past couple of years that some of the utility of the NFTs that come with this is perhaps a wearable. And I've created this entire wearable closet that when I log into, when I'm playing around in the metaverse on Decentraland or Crypto Voxels, I literally only log in with my wearable wallet. So then I know I can dress my avatars any way that I want to with whatever that happens to be. Do you have a trick that you like to use with your wallets? What's in your wallet?
I'll tell you one thing that you asked what not to do.
not to do.
And I'll tell you from my own experience is don't buy stuff you don't understand, because it's the stuff that you understand you're going to be happy with. You're going to use it, etc. Like, your thing is the wearable and the fashion, and that's incredible and important. So that's my advice.
Do not be jealous of my popcorn dress. Because I go to these movie nights in crypto voxels, and one of my favorite NFT projects for as a utility made a popcorn box as a dress. Well, it's not just a dress. Like if you were wearing the popcorn box, you might not call it a dress, but I'm calling it that. So I love the idea of having that.
And the fact that you use it is valuable to you. You didn't necessarily buy it as an investment. You're using it, you're enjoying it, and it's like living in an apartment. You're buying it not because it's going to appreciate, but if you're there for 10 years, it also appreciates.
Who here in the audience is interested in metaverse real estate? That's really interesting, you guys. When I think about it, are you those who held up your hand? Would you dress your metaverse condo the same way you currently dress your apartment or home? You would? I think maybe not. I know. So this is I think about this. Some people, we dress our children or our dogs like us. So when we get into the metaverse, when we're going to have these fabulous pieces of real estate, we might want to put our art on the wall or make something happen. In your virtual world, would you dress it just like you, or would you do something completely different?
I think the beauty of the virtual world is that we can be someone else. Is that we can be whoever we want to be. It can be as close as who we are in the real world, or it can be as far away from who we are, right? And that creates this room for experimentation and self-expression that just simply does not exist in the real world. And there's this trend of kind of pseudo anonymity in the meta world that in metaverse that already exists, largely on Twitter, but in other areas as well. And I think that's a super fascinating trend that will continue to grow in the years to come.
So I want to know, Aaron, are you going to have your own playlist in your in your condo in the metaverse, playing straight through, or will you dress it similarly to you and your likes and your styles, or will you go far off the rails, something you would never thought?
So I think my avatar, yes. But say my house or my other assets, maybe not. I'll probably be a little bit more lavish. Because the metaverse, as Eric was saying, it kind of gives you that, because in the real world, I have on this pair, this suit of clothes right now, but I can't just immediately switch to something else like that, But in the metaverse, I could switch to that and go to a different event or a different spot. And that flexibility or that ability to do that, I think that with cars or houses and stuff, I may not have the amount of assets in real life to do what I would do in the metaverse, but I think I'll do it a little bit more.
Now, will you dress it the same, or are you going to go all like alien, lizard, spaceman?
I like to dress up like a girl on Halloween. It's my opportunity to have Halloween every day of the year.
Love it.
Why not? But I also like to throw parties, and the metaverse is a great place to throw parties and be an impresario, invite the right DJs, give out the right stuff to people, and so it's really exciting.
So when I want to come to one of your parties, since we're close to the end of our panel here, can we all share our socials? Because I would like to come to one of your parties. How do I find you?
Oh, excellent. So I'll give the social of Twitter, which is RevelXYZ. If you go there, you can join our Discord and get access to the beta.
All right. Aaron, how do we find you?
So you can find me on all platforms, streaming music and social media at ARTIKYOUL and the number 8, Articulate.
Eric.
I'll also give Twitter. I'm just Eric X Tang, Eric Cross Tang T-A-N-G on Twitter.
Well, you can find me in Instagram and or also Twitter. I'm Julie. I'm known as Julie Sue, and my social handles are At How To with Julie Sue. When you start typing it in into Instagram, I usually pop up pretty quickly. And on Twitter, it's one of my new favorites to use, is HOWTO, the number 2, JULIESU. Thank you so much, NFT.NYC, for having us all here.
Yeah.
And I
Thank
love
you.
our panel. You guys, round of applause.